It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, October 4th, 2019, which leaves us exactly 87 days left to make 2019 the best that you possibly can. And that means for my construction friends out there, man, winter is coming very soon. So for those of us who work in cold climates, as you guys can see, I got a little heavier shirt on today. It's a little chilly up here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania today. And it looks like the forecast shows that that is going to be the case as things move forward here. So keep in mind, guys, it is a Friday. Fridays are one of my favorite days because I feel like it's a time for me to capitalize, gain on my competition, because so many people blow off part or all of Fridays and don't make it productive. So remember that as you're going through and preparing for your day and getting ready to take on this amazing Friday in October. So today's topic, guys, is block out the noise. Block out the noise. And this one is near and dear to my heart because, you know, I think that we all have the draw towards these things in our lives that don't serve us but exist in everybody's life. There's just, you know, I call it noise because it's just anything that could be a distraction, right? And we're going to get into some of the details of what that is. But there's a lot of things that become distractions in our lives that we don't, you know, necessarily need to participate in. And so as I have learned to block out that noise and kind of stay the course in my life, and I'm not perfect at it, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. As I've learned to do that, I've become way more productive than I was in the past. So we're going to jump into that in a second. Good morning, Patricia, AJ, Brent, babe, how you doing? Kevin, Alfred, good morning, man. How are you? There you go. Cutting edges on your plows. Good. Your salt spreaders, chains oiled up, ready to go. Amen, brother. That's it. That's it. It's time to convert, right? So, you know, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about this morning on this topic of blocking out the noise. And the first is the most overarching and simple thing to understand, but it is about the content that we consume in our lives. And in this world of technology, social media, televisions everywhere in our homes, a computer in front of us all day long, a phone in our hands that is there literally to do nothing but distract us. You know, some of those tools, unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, those tools are meant to keep us and make us productive. And so we have to be very careful about how we use those tools. And so I'll use a phone, for example. One of the things that I did last year that really helped me a ton as I got going in this whole social media world was that I turned off all the notifications on my phone. Because what was happening is that my phone was going off all day long, right? And it's just that split-second distraction that takes you away from what you're actually doing. And that is one of the ways that there is noise in your life, right? The other part is that when you are using that device, when you're using it for social media, when I'm using it for good to try and get on here and help people do whatever it is that I do every single day, it matters that I am using it for the right reasons and I'm not engaging in the things that don't serve me, right? So, you know, one of the things that people say often about social media is they say that there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of this. There's a lot of that. The reality is, guys, and I want to stress this to you because, social media has done tremendous things, unbelievable things for our businesses, and it has introduced me to a lot of incredible people, but it is how you are able to use it, how you set ground rules for how to use it is to how it's going to have an impact on your life. If you allow that negativity on your news feed, you allow people that interact negatively in your environment to stay there, then that's what it's going to produce. And here's what I've found about social media is that the people who are negative on social media are typically the same way in real life. And so, when you allow those people into your world and you don't realize how often those people are just kind of pecking away, they're just one right after the other, they're convincing you of some negativity, right? They're making you start to have some doubt about things that they are talking about. And so you absolutely have to set some ground rules for that. And you can't accept those people in your life that are going to not align with the values and the mission that you are on in your life. And that's the best way I can put it to you guys, is that you just have to set those ground rules. Yeah, and Patricia said it correct. Unfollow works great. It doesn't mean that you can't be friends with someone, but consuming their content is a commitment. It's absolutely something that you are deciding to do, and I think that we overlook that a lot. You are deciding to consume someone's content. If you see something repetitively negative and you don't choose to remove those people from your life, then and your life is an online life and an offline life. That's the reality. If you are engaging in social media, that stuff matters. And so I want you guys to remember that technology will do incredible things for you, but only when it's used properly. If you don't restrict your usage of it, if you don't set some ground rules for yourself of how to use it, of how to engage on social media, what you're going to allow in your life, what you're not, then you're going to have a tough time, and technology could end up being a bad thing for you. You have to recognize, guys, that as you climb the ladder, as you start to try and do things in your own life, that there's going to be more noise around you and about you, right? It's just how it works. People are very interested in those people who are doing things that make a difference, and a lot of times people are paying attention to you because you're doing things that they wish they were doing. There's a level of envy there, and it's not like, oh, these people want to be like you. It's just that there are things that happen around people that they wish they had done themselves, and they're not doing it. And so, when you start to hear that noise and people start to have those comments to say about you, which they will as you start to do these things that you do, just ignore it. Do not ever engage those people who are, taking shots at you, who are, trying to come from a place of tearing people down, of not encouraging people and being positive. It is very important to spend time only with those people that are there to help you level up. Good morning, guys. What's up, Bruce, Zach, Jeff, Judd, Patricia, my girl, always on here. Love you, girl. It is important to always spend time with those people that are there to help you level up. And when you do that, when you spend the majority of your time with those people who you plug into and they make you feel better, that is a good sign that you are going to be headed in the right direction. If you are spending time with people that are constantly talking about other people, that is probably a sign that you're headed in the wrong direction. And so I would tell you to spend your time with those who motivate you, inspire you, give you the energy to find the best version of yourself and allow you to be the best, not just for yourself, but for every single person around you. And so, this topic is one that in some ways, I've lived this myself. There's always, as you become more public, as I do this show, as I, started coaching people, as I started to put our business out in front of people a lot more, there's always people that have things to say. And by the way, guys, sometimes those things are valid, right? Sometimes people will say something about you and you might learn something from it. But I would tell you that it's a slippery slope of reading people's comments, of engaging in any kind of communication like that. This exercise of learning about yourself that we talk about every single morning in some way, shape, or form, it's an important exercise because, there are things that people will say about you that are valuable, that are great feedback, but they're not going to be received. Most of the time, you're not going to learn from those people who deliver it in a way that is just negative, right? It's those people that give you the structured, respectful feedback that you need that are going to help you level up, that are going to help you take your life, your business, your family, your friendships, relationships, all of those things to the next level. And when you get all of those people in your life that are constantly encouraging you, you're going to find that you just don't need the other side of that anymore. You just don't participate anymore. And it is really important for you guys to see and understand that, that world around you. And a lot of times, guys, by the way, another important note, some of these people are going to be the closest people to you in your life. Sometimes it is your own family. I've seen people that have their parents are really just, they're really negative influences. They're really, they put a lot of doubt into people's minds. They put a lot of negativity out into their world. And again, remember, guys, I'm not saying that all of these people do this intentionally. A lot of times it is a subconscious thing that people are, they're kind of trained that way. As they're being raised, they're trained to doubt everything, to question everything, to, just not make moves that other people may make. And so if you are trained over and over and over again to doubt yourself, to doubt situations, to not allow yourself to take the risks that are required to get where you're going, you can't blame that on anybody else. You have to take control of your own life. And that is a really, really important lesson this morning, guys. It is critically important for you to recognize the energy that is being poured into your life, to recognize the things that people are doing that you're allowing them to do. And when you recognize the things that you are allowing other people to do in your life, you will slowly but surely start to correct those things. And when you start to correct those things, you're going to find a different version of happiness in your life. And that better version of happiness in your life is going to spill over into every single aspect of what you do. Your business, your marriage, your family, your friendships, your relationships. Everything will get better by you having clarity. And the only way that you get clarity, guys, is by blocking out that noise, blocking out the things that don't align with your passion, with what you're trying to accomplish in life. If they don't apply to that, you shouldn't participate. And those people shouldn't have space in your world. Every single interaction that you have, you allow. If that is on social media, off social media, if you engage in a text message that somebody sends you that is just negative and ridiculous, all of those things that happen, you allow them. And it is, I'm going to say it again, that's how important it is. You allow it all. And in a lot of ways, I think that you guys will realize eventually, if you really are honest with yourself, that you invite it. You invite it because you pour fuel on the flame of the negativity. And the reality is that if you have ever felt the need, and we all have been there, to defend yourself against people who have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, they're just kind of throwing things out there and hoping for the best, hoping that people engage in their conversation. I promise you are not serving yourself by trying to defend. My dad used to tell me when I was growing up, you know what they call people that argue with idiots? Idiots. They call them idiots too. And so make sure, guys, that when this stuff is going on around you, and again, it is not about, it's about having grace. It's about recognizing that for what it is, understanding that those people are in a different place in their journey than you are. They are just in a tough place. Whatever is making them do that has nothing to do with you. And not embracing it. Just don't embrace it, guys. Just let it roll off your back. And I promise you, those things that you don't engage in, that you don't allow into your life, they're going to create huge momentum changes in your life. Because when you are working on something, we got a lot of stuff going on right now. It's a busy time for the construction season. We've got this retreat coming up. We've got the off season for Top Contractor School coming up. There's a lot of things happening right now. And so if I didn't have all of my notifications turned off, if I if I started to engage in stuff online that was just negative and not serving what I've got to do, I would have a lot less time to spend on the things that are really important, that are going to build a better future for me, my family, the people around me and their families. And so I would ask you guys to think about how often you do that. How often you allow yourself to go down that rabbit hole. I'll tell you guys this. I used to read a lot of useless articles on social media, online, from the notifications that came in. I would click on them because they seemed interesting, the old clickbait, right? And as I started to not do that, I started to recognize how much time I really had in my life that I didn't think that I did. And so today, every once in a while, I'll click on something and I'll literally read 2 sentences and I shut it off instantly. I just turn it off because it doesn't serve me. The only articles that I should be reading are something that benefit my family, something that benefits my business, something that leads to a better future for me, a better legacy for me down the road. If it doesn't have to do with that, I'm not interested. That's just how it goes, guys. And, those people are trying their hardest to drag you into that world. And I hope that you guys recognize that a little bit more after this conversation today. And just do those things that serve yourself, that fill yourself up. And on the flip side of that, I don't even like this topic because it's a little bit on the negative side. It has a negative connotation to it. But on the flip side, if you block out all that negativity, then what's left? And we'll end on this. What's left is the things that do serve you, the friends that do have your back, the people that will take your business, your life, your future to the next level. That's what's going to be left. When you sift out all the noise, what comes through the bottom of the sifter, guys, is gold. It is a bright future. It is people that have the identical same values and vision as you do, and they will go on that mission with you, and you will be happy to have those people on your mission with you. I promise you. You will look around and you will see nothing but a bunch of people who are ready to do whatever it takes to make a brighter future for you, for them, for their families, for your families. And that, guys, is what happens. That's the results of blocking out the noise and not engaging in the stuff that doesn't serve you. So if you guys don't have an idea of what serves you, the first exercise you need to do is identify who you actually want to be. And that takes, just takes some exploration. I've got an exercise that we're going to be doing at our retreat in Anguilla that is really powerful about, your circle, your own characteristics. What do those people have that are around you? What does it look like? And does that actually serve what you want in your own life? And so I would ask you guys to think about that and take some time to write down, what are the characteristics? What are the values I possess? Who do I actually want to be? When I look at myself, what are the things that I want people to say about me? For me, it's helper, passionate, relentless, great father, great husband, great son, motivational, inspirational. Those are just some of the things that would make my list of what I want to be. And if I am spending time with people that don't align with those characteristics, then I'm headed in the wrong direction. Those people are pulling me away from those things. So I would ask you guys to evaluate that and evaluate, the people that you're interacting with on a daily basis. They should align with those things that you aspire to be. And if they don't, then you got to take some inventory and you got to start removing some people from that environment, because that's the only way, guys, that you're going to find true happiness, true fulfillment, and live the life that you want. So I appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. Again, just please like, share, tag some people in the comments here that might need to hear this. It is super easy to share this from the iTunes platform, the Spotify platform, on the podcast side of things. So please, by all means, continue to like, share, comment, tag people, all that stuff. Give us some reviews on the podcast platforms, because it is making a difference. The number of people that are listening to the podcast, that are viewing these videos on a daily, weekly basis, is continuing to go up on a regular basis. So I appreciate the help that you guys give me in getting this message out to people. I love doing this every single morning, and thank you to everybody that tunes in on a regular basis, and even those that stop by. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I hope this information is helping you live a better life. That is what I'm here to do, and look forward to seeing you guys again on Monday morning right here on Morning Perspective.